This is the exact same e-commerce website I'm going to show you how to create step by step without skipping any steps whatsoever, so everyone will be able to easily follow along. The first thing we're going to do is set up a domain name and hosting account with the company I recommend called HostGator. Now I'm actually using a subdomain, and that is market.quickwebsitecreation.com, and the only reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to have to purchase a new domain name every time I make a new video tutorial. The domain I actually own is quickwebsitecreation.com. So you'll be able to get your own domain name and set up a hosting account on that domain. After we get that set up, we're going to install a wonderful free content management system called WordPress onto that hosting account. And after that, we'll install the free MyStyle theme and the free e-commerce plugin called WooCommerce. Both are from a wonderful theme company called Woo Themes. And those two, the plugin and the theme, work very well together. And we're going to make a lot of customizations to your website. You'll be able to set up a custom color scheme. You can see I've got this brown shade and this nice blue and orange that all work really well together. I'm going to show you how to create or come up with a custom color scheme like that, a professional color scheme, using some free tools. You don't have to be a graphic designer to do this. There are a couple of free resources that we're going to go over. I'm going to also show you how to get free icons that you can use for your website, and in this case for your logo. And I'm going to show you how to create your logo using a couple of different free online editing applications. And we're going to be setting up our home page. If you scroll down here, this is another image that I got from the same free resource where I got this icon, so you're going to learn about that website. And for your home page with the MyStyle theme, you have the option to include a featured image here with some custom text here and some custom text here. So I'm going to show you how to set that up. And you also have some product options to display on your home page. I've got it set up to show 4 featured products, so I'm going to show you how to configure your home page settings and how to pick which products are going to be your featured products. And you also have the option to include your blog posts if you choose to. I decided to create a separate blog page for my blog posts, but you have the option to include that on your home page as well. And if we scroll down here, you see that I've got 4 different areas in my footer, and these are called widget areas. And what I have in each widget area are widgets. And in this case, we've got a featured products widget, we've got a product categories widget, we've got a blog categories widget, and then we've got a shopping cart widget. And you can see I don't have any products currently in the cart, but if we did, they would show up here. I'm going to show you how to configure all of that. And if we scroll up to the top here, I'm going to show you how to create pages, and if I click on my About page, I'm going to show you how to use those images that we're going to get from the free resource, or you can use your own, of course, your own images, but I'm going to show you how to use the visual editor in WordPress to put images and text, and to make certain text bold, and to create bullet lists, as you see there, and also to embed YouTube videos. And if we click on our contact form, I'm going to show you how to create a contact page. And if a user filled out this contact form and clicked on the submit button, it would be sent to the email address that you specify. And we're also going to be setting up our navigation menus. The MyStyle theme has a spot for a top navigation menu here that you see, and then a main navigation here. So we're going to be setting up the pages that we want to have on our navigation menu. And you can see I've got a drop down menu. We're going to be going over drop downs and how to create those within WordPress. We're also going to be organizing our products. As you see here, I've got my products organized into 4 different categories. So I'm going to show you how to create a page that's the product categories page. If we click on that, it's going to show all of our product categories, and we could click on any one of those to see all the products within those categories. For example, in my produce category, I've got 5 different products that are all in that category. And if we click on our shop page here, you'll have every product that we create is going to be automatically added to our shop page. And let's go ahead and click on the Fuji Apples product. I'm going to show you how to, of course, add all your products. And when you add your product, you have a place for a price, you have a place for a short description that you see there. And the categories, we decided to do 2 categories for our fruits and 2 for our vegetables. So our fruit is going to be in the fruit category and the produce category. And you can also set up a light box, and if we click on these, it'll open up in this nice light box. You can scroll through all the different images that you can upload. Of course, this is optional. And if you have large images, you can use this feature to expand the image and view those large images. So I'm going to show you how to set that up. Then of course you'll have a place for your long description that'll go here. You have the option to use reviews if you want to include product reviews. And I'm going to go back to the shop page, and I want to point out that I'm also going to teach you how to set up what's called a variable product. And a very common example of a variable product might be a t-shirt. For a t-shirt, you could have different variations for sizes. That's the most likely. And you might even also have different colors for that same product. And let's say you wanted to use different pictures for each one of your different variations, and you wanted to have possibly different prices. It's completely up to you. I'm going to show you how to do that using a coffee grinder as an example. With my coffee grinder, you can see that I've got a model and a size, and for the model I've got the standard and premium option. For the size I've got a large and medium option. So if I wanted to choose the standard and wanted the medium standard model, you can see that the picture changes and the price is $15. Well, let's say I want the premium medium model. The price is now $25 and you get the premium picture. And for the premium large, the price is $30. So you'll be able to have different prices, different pictures for all of your variations. I'm going to show you how to do that. And you're also going to get this tab that shows up with the different options under additional information. Let's go back to the shop page, and we'll just click on the apples product. And I'm going to add 2 orders of the apples to my cart. Click on Add to Cart. And if I click on my About page, for example, I want you to point out that there's also a sidebar widget area in the My Style theme. You can do a right sidebar widget area or a left sidebar widget area. And I'm going to show you how to configure that. And we've currently got a shopping cart widget added and a product categories widget added to that widget area. So you can see that my the 2 apples that I've just added to the cart are now showing up in my cart there, and then also in the footer widget for the cart, they're showing up. Now let me walk you through the checkout process. If we click on this tab to view the cart, or this icon rather, you can see that I have 2 orders of the apples in my cart. I'm going to show you how to set up a coupon code, and you can use coupon codes to have percentage discounts, you can have dollar value discounts, and you can have free shipping discounts, and you can use certain restrictions and get very specific with your criteria for all of those different coupon codes that you can use. But we are going to walk you through, I'm going to walk you through how to set up a free shipping coupon. And if we scroll down, we're going to set up shipping options. I've got it set to 3 basic flat rate shipping options. You've got a $5 ground shipping, 2-day shipping, and overnight shipping option there. So let's just stick with the $5 ground shipping for now and click on Proceed to Checkout. And here your customers will be able to log in if they have an account created, and if we scroll down, they would also be able to create an account after they filled out their information if they did not have an account created. And what that does is it allows them to not have to type in their shipping and billing information every time they want to come to your website and purchase a product. And also they'd be able to log in and see recent order history, and they would be able to leave comments on your blog posts if you had comments enabled. I'm just going to fill out the billing information real quick. Alright, and if I scroll down, I want you to notice that we have a tax added. I'm going to show you how to set up your tax options. And what I want you to notice is that I've set my tax up to be 7.5% only for people that are residents of the state where I have the business set up. And I'm going to show you how to do all that, of course, in your WooCommerce settings. But I've currently got the business set up in Colorado, and I've got my tax settings set up to only apply the 7.5% tax rate that I have for Colorado to people that have billing or shipping addresses in Colorado. And the reason I did that is because my understanding is with a lot of online businesses, you don't have to charge sales tax to people that don't reside in the state where your business is located. So let's say, for example, we are from Alabama. I'm going to change that to Alabama, and you scroll down, and you notice that that tax disappears. So, of course, this is just the way I've set it up, and you can do it any way you want, but I'm going to walk you through how to do all that. And so let's say we are in Colorado, so we do have to pay that tax. I'm not going to worry about creating an account right now. And after you review all your order, you click on Proceed to PayPal. And I'm going to show you how to configure a PayPal account with your e-commerce website. It's very easy to do. And what's going to happen is it's going to take the customer's whole order, the shipping, the product, and the tax is all going to be itemized here. And the customer can either pay with a PayPal account if they had one, or if they don't have a PayPal account, they can click on this option and just pay with a debit or credit card. And after that, you would be sent an email from PayPal that lets you know that the customer had made the purchase, and you could fulfill that order at that point. And I do want to point out that there are multiple ways to set up your payment processing, but I highly recommend going with PayPal just because it's really quick and easy to do. And you also don't have to worry about payment processing security on your website when you use PayPal, because the payment processing takes place on PayPal's end. And they do charge a small fee. I think it's 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. But that's just part of the cost of selling anything online. Let's go back, and I do want to show you some of the advanced shipping options we're going to go over. We talked about some advanced tax options. Let's go back, and let's say you have a product that you have to pay more shipping costs on, and you want to pass those costs along to your customer. So let's say, for example, that my coffee grinder is big and bulky, and I have to pay an additional $3 for each of the shipping options to ship that product. So I'm going to go back to my shop, and actually, let's go back to the cart and let's take these products off. Click on Update Cart. Let's go back to my shop page, and I'm going to add a coffee grinder, and we'll just add a standard large coffee grinder, and I'm going to click on Add to Cart. And when I view my cart, you can see that I've got that coffee grinder in place. Now scroll down, and I want you to notice that the shipping is more expensive. Earlier we had a $5 option, a $10 option, and a $15 option. Well, I've set this up to add $3 to each of the shipping options every time a coffee grinder is added to the cart. So for example, if I add another one and then update the cart, you'll see that I've got an additional $3 right there. Now it's 11, 16, and 21. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And of course, this can be set up any way you want it to, and this is just the way I've done it. But I'm going to walk you through how to do all that. And then of course, let's go back to our home page. I do want to show you that the MyStyle theme and WooCommerce plugin are mobile friendly. So if I resize my window, you can see that it resizes nicely as it would on a mobile device. And you have this nice mobile menu that'll function like that, and your top navigation menu would function like this. And if we make this back to normal size, the last thing I'm going to do is show you how to set up your blog, and this is completely optional. You don't have to have a blog, but I mentioned earlier you can choose to show your blog posts on your home page if you wanted to do that. I'm going to show you how to set a separate page to be your blog page, and it'll show your latest blog posts at the top. And we're only going to create one blog post, but if you had multiple blog posts, they would show up beneath your most recent post. And I'm going to show you how to, of course, set up a featured image. And if we click on this, we are taken to the full contents of the post. And I'm going to show you all you need to know about comment settings. And if you wanted to enable comments, you could do that. And then your users, if they wanted to write a comment, they would need to create an account on the My Account page there. And all of this, of course, I'm going to show you how to do step by step without skipping any steps, so everyone should be able to easily follow along. The first thing we're going to do is set up a hosting account and a domain name, and for that I highly recommend using a company called HostGator.com. They've got a wonderful product and service. They've also got excellent pricing, and they have the option to pay by the month, so it makes it a little easier to get started. So go ahead and go to HostGator.com. Alright, when you get there, you can see that their plans start out at only $3.96 a month, and either click on View Web Hosting Plans here, or click on Web Hosting here. Alright, scroll down and you'll see that you've got 3 different options to choose from. The Hatchling plan, you can host one domain on that account, and of course that's going to be your cheapest plan. And then the Baby plan is a great deal because you can host as many domains as you own all on one account. So if you have multiple websites, or if you plan on having multiple websites and multiple domain names, then that's a great option for you. And then the Business plan has a free private security feature and a free toll-free number. Most people probably don't need that. So I usually recommend starting out with the Baby plan. So go ahead and click on Order Now. All right, and if you don't have a domain name, this is where you need to register for one. And of course, a domain name is going to be like a google.com or an ebay.com. Of course, you can't choose something that's already taken. And I actually already own a domain. That's the domain that I own is quickwebsitecreation.com. And since I don't want to have to purchase a new domain name every time I make a new video tutorial, I'm going to use a subdomain. So for my account, for the video tutorial, I'm going to use a subdomain on my hosting account, and it's just going to be market.quickwebsitecreation.com. But for the purposes of this video tutorial, I'm just going to show you what it would look like if you were going to register for a new domain. And let's use the best online farmers market. All right, and of course we let that to .com. And you can see that that domain name, thebestonlinefarmersmarket.com, is available, so you could purchase that. And then of course you also have the option to purchase .net, .org, .info, or .biz. So oftentimes the domain that you would like to have is already taken, so sometimes you have to get creative. And you can also try these different extensions out and see if it's available. And then of course if you already own a domain with a company like GoDaddy or another company, then you can click this box and then proceed with the rest of the checkout process for your hosting account, and then HostGator will send you special instructions on how to link your domain name to your hosting account. But we're just going to stick with this for now, thebestonlinefarmersmarket.com. And then down here you could choose to add on these other domain extensions if you wanted to do that, but we will just stick with the .com. And then scroll down and you'll see that the package type that we have selected is the baby plan. And just to verify, you want to make sure that you've got the one that you're wanting to have. So we did want to go with the baby plan. And then the billing cycle, we're just going to pay by the month. And I like to do that because it makes it really easy to get started. And I've got a really good coupon code that's going to give you your first month for just 1 cent. So I'm going to stick with that. If you wanted to pay for multiple months, then of course you would get a better deal. And I've got a coupon code that's going to give you more than 20% off. But we'll stick with the 1 month for now, billing cycle. And then here you need to put in a username that fits the criteria specified below. And then a security pin that's at least 4 digits, 4 to 8 digits long. We'll use 1, 2, 3, 4. Then scroll down and put in your billing information. And then you can pay with a credit card or you can pay with PayPal. And make sure you put in your primary email address because HostGator will send you some very important information about your account once you register. So go ahead and fill all that out. And then scroll down and you have these hosting add-ons that a lot of times will be checked by default. And you can kind of read through these. A lot of times you don't necessarily need to start out with these different options and you can add them later. So I usually just uncheck all these hosting add-ons. I like to get started as cheaply as possible. Alright, and then for the coupon, this code's Snappy. This is going to give you 20% off. Now I've got a code, if you're paying by the month, which we're going to do for this demonstration, the code will give you your first month of web hosting for 1 cent. And that code is WP Sculptor 1 cent. And this is a good deal for people that are going to buy just 1 month at a time. It's going to give them their first month for 1 cent, so that's good. Just click on validate. And the other code that I have is generally going to be a better deal for people that purchase multiple months at a time. And that's going to be 25% off their hosting. And that code is WP Sculptor 25. And if you clicked on validate, that would give you 25% off. But we'll stick with WP Sculptor 1 cent. And just click on validate there. And one thing I want to point out, if you do use these coupon codes, I do get a small commission for referring you to HostGator. So not only do you get a discount, but it also helps support me and helps support these videos. So I really appreciate that. Alright, and then scroll down and you can see just a review. We've got the free 24/7 365 phone, live chat, and email support. Free account activation, 45 days for the money back guarantee, and I'm pretty sure you'll want to stick with HostGator, of course. And then you see that you're getting your first month for 1 cent. The normal price for the baby plan is $9.95 a month, but yours is going to be 1 cent for the first month. And then after your first month's up, you will just be billed $9.95 per month as long as you choose to have your hosting account with HostGator. And then your domain registration is going to be $12.95, and that's going to cover you for a whole year. So that's a great deal. You don't have to worry about that for a while. And so you can see that we're just paying that plus the 1 cent. So it's only going to be $12.96 for your first month. And after that, you'll be billed $9.95 a month. And go ahead and click on You've read and agree to the terms and conditions, and click on Create Account. Alright, give HostGator about 15 minutes or so to get your hosting account set up, and then you're going to go and check your email. After a few minutes, you should have an email from HostGator from sales@hostgator.com. Go ahead and open that up. This is going to include some important account information. It's going to include your control panel login URL, which is right here, and the username that you specified, and then there's going to be an automatically generated password. So go ahead and click on the control panel link. It's going to open up in a new tab, and you'll type in the username that you put in, and then go back, and you're going to want to copy and make sure you don't get any extra characters, and make sure that you do get all the characters that are used. Copy the password that was generated automatically, and of course I've changed mine, but you'll just paste that in there. And once you have that in, click on Login, and this is going to be what your control panel looks like. And the control panel is where we will install WordPress onto your hosting account. So go ahead and scroll down to the bottom, and then underneath this software/services area, click on Quick Install. Alright, you can see that I've already got lots of different WordPress websites installed on my account, and you can do the same if you're using the baby plan. But we're just going to click on WordPress here on the left. Yours should be empty, by the way. All this should be empty. Click on WordPress and click on Continue. And right here, you should only have one domain on your account. In my case, I've got all these different domains and subdomains, and I'm going to use a subdomain, which is going to be market.quickwebsitecreation.com, but you should just have one option there, so make sure it's your domain name that you want to use for this WordPress installation. Leave this section blank, and I'm going to go ahead and uncheck Enable Auto Upgrades. Put in your email address. Give your blog a title, and you can always change this later. And a username. And your first and your last name. And then click on Install Now. When you get this message, your WordPress installation is complete, but with registering a new domain name, it takes several hours to do what's called propagating, and you won't be able to access your website until that process is complete, and that's just part of the process. One thing to note, you do want to save this password that was generated. This is going to be your WordPress administration password, so the username that you specified up here will of course be your username, and then this will be the password. And we will change this to something that you can remember, of course, when we log in, but go ahead and save that because you will need that. And then this is the link to your what's the WordPress backend. This is how you log in to make changes to your website, and it's just going to be your domain name /wp-admin. So in my case, market.quickwebsitecreation.com /wp-admin. And we'll check back here in a moment. Alright, after a couple of hours, it's time to open up a new tab and see if our website's available. So I'm going to open up a new window here. And when you can type in your domain name, so in my case, it's going to be market.quickwebsitecreation.com. And when you get a page that looks something like this, this is what a brand new WordPress installation looks like. So, and this is the 2014 theme, the default theme that comes with a WordPress installation. Of course, we're going to change this up entirely and use a completely different theme. But when you get this page, you know you're ready to go to work on your website and your domain has propagated. So what you want to do is go back and you want to grab the password that was given to you. And remember, the username that you typed in up here is going to be the same username. So copy that password. And we can either click on this link, or we can go to our domain /wp-admin, and that's going to be the login page. And you're just going to use that username and password to log in, and this is going to take you to the back end of your WordPress website, which is where all the changes will be made. So type in that username, and I'm going to paste in that password, and click on Login. Alright, so this is what a brand new WordPress installation looks like from the back end. And just so you know, I am using the latest version of WordPress, but if you happen to install WordPress and you have a message up here at the top that says there's an update available, go ahead and follow the instructions to take care of that. And since we don't have to do that, let's jump right in, and the first thing we'll do is take care of a few housekeeping items. Go ahead and go to Plugins and click on Installed Plugins. And down here you see this plugin called WP Super Cache. I'm going to go ahead and deactivate that and delete that. And the reason we're going to do this is because in the past I've noticed that this plugin, sometimes for some users, they won't see their changes made to the site right away. So that's not ideal when you're developing your website. And also with the eCommerce plugin we're going to use called WooCommerce, there seems to be some conflicts going on. So we're going to go ahead and just remove this plugin. Go ahead and click on Deactivate. And you can always reinstall this later if you choose to do that. So once you deactivate the plugin, then you have the option to delete it. So click on Delete. And click on Yes, delete these files and data. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is change our password from the automatically generated password to something we can actually remember. So go ahead and hover over Users and click on All Users. And click on your username there. You can click Edit or the username. And then if you scroll down, there are two places to put in your new password, so go ahead and type those in and make sure, of course, that they are the same. And then click on Update Profile. Alright, and from now on, after we log out, when we log back in, we'll be able to use our username and our new password. And then the next thing I want to take care of, go to Settings and click on Reading, or click on General actually. We'll take care of the reading settings later on. For the site title, just give your website a title. In this case, we're just going to call it Farmers Market, or The Farmers Market. And for the tagline, you definitely want to get rid of the default Just Another WordPress Site tagline. And in my case, I'm going to say Welcome to the Online Farmers Market. Alright, and all these other settings should be just fine the way they are. So scroll down and click on Save Changes. It's very important to save every change that you make when developing a WordPress website. The next thing we're going to do is download and install the free theme called My Style from Woo Themes. And to do that, I'm just going to open up a new tab and go to woothemes.com. What's great about the My Style theme is that it is very compatible with the eCommerce theme from Woo Themes that we're going to use called WooCommerce. To install this, hover over Themes, click on View Themes. And then if this box is not dropped down, click on Search to bring down these options. And then you're going to click the box next to Free and come over here to the right and click on Search. And this My Style theme is the one you want to use, so click on that. Just click on the picture there. And then if you come over here to the top right, click on Free Download. And then you're going to want to add this to your cart. Now if you don't have an account with Woo Themes, which you probably don't if this is your first experience, then you're going to have to sign up for an account. And I've actually already got this added to my cart, so you have to sign up for an account. And when you sign up for an account, you'll be able to view your cart. And up here in the top right, your name will be there, and then right below that will be an option to download your products. So you would want to check out with this product, and of course it's free, so you won't have to pay anything. So you would click the Checkout Now button, and then that would be added to your list of products, and you would be able to click on this link, download your products. And then you can see that the My Style theme is showing up, and then you would click on Download. And you definitely want to save this somewhere on your hard drive where you can find it. Don't open it up on your hard drive, and the reason for this is because this is a .zip file, and oftentimes if you try and open a .zip file on your computer, it'll try to unzip the file, and the file must be a zipped file for WordPress to be able to read it. So just download the .zip, the original version. I've already done that, so I'm not going to worry about this step. And once you have this downloaded, you're going to go back to the back end of your site, and you will go to Appearance and click on Themes, and we're going to click on Add New. And I do want to point out one of the wonderful features of WordPress is that there are literally thousands and thousands of themes to choose from. Many of them are free, and you can actually use the section right here in your backend to browse through different themes if you wish to. You can browse by featured, by popular, and there's a wonderful search filter. It's called the feature filter. You can click on that, and you can specify certain things that you want in a WordPress theme and look through the different options and click on apply filters, and it'll pull up a list of all the themes that are available that fit those criteria. But we're just going to stick with the My Style theme since it does work really well with the eCommerce plugin we're going to use. So I'm going to click on upload theme since we're going to upload this from our hard drive. And of course it's asking for a .zip file. So click on browse and find that file on your hard drive. It'll just be called mystyle.zip. Click on open and then click on install now. Alright, after the theme is installed, click on activate to activate the theme, and this is going to replace the 2014 default theme with the My Style theme. Alright, and now that we have our new theme activated, to switch back and forth between the front end and the back end of our site, you can click on this button right here, and this is what the front end of our website looks like now. Looks completely different because we're now using the My Style theme. And of course we're going to change this up completely, but while we're here I want to point out that this is the admin bar, and this will only display if you're logged in. So if we logged out, to log out, you would hover over your username there and then click on log out. And if we just went to our domain name without going to the back end, so just your domain name, you can see that we have the front end of our site and we don't have the admin bar. And to log back in, you would do your domain name / wp-admin and use your same username and your new password to get taken back to the back end. The next thing we'll do is install the plugin that we're going to use for our e-commerce functionality, and that's another one of the great things about WordPress is that there are also thousands of plugins available, and many of those are free as well, including the one we're going to use for e-commerce. And basically plugins just give you the ability to add additional functionality to your website. So there will literally be a plugin for just about everything you can imagine. And to install a new plugin, you're going to go to plugins and click on add new. And we're going to search the WordPress directory for the WooCommerce plugin. So type in WooCommerce. That's just one word, and click on search plugins. And it should be this top option here, WooCommerce Excelling eCommerce. It's definitely going to be the one by Woo Themes. And just click on install now. Click on OK. And after the plugin is installed, you definitely have to activate it. So click on activate plugin. Alright, and now here you get a message right away that says welcome to WooCommerce, and you need to install your WooCommerce pages. Another way to access this is to go to hover over WooCommerce and scroll down and click on settings, and you get that same message right here. So go ahead and click on install WooCommerce pages. Alright, and basically what that does is it installs the pages necessary for a fully functioning e-commerce website. So you have your shop page, so all your products will automatically be added to your shop page. Your users will have an account page. All those pages, those types of pages are created for you automatically. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is go back to the WooCommerce settings. So go to hover over WooCommerce and click on settings again. And under the general tab, you're going to set your base location. In my case, I'm going to choose Colorado in the United States. And then your selling locations, this is where you specify who you want to sell to. And just to keep things simple, I'm just going to choose to sell to specific countries only and just do the United States, just for the purposes of this tutorial. And scroll down and make sure you set your currency. So in my case, it's going to be the dollar. and that's US dollars. And then you can play with these options if you need to. Most of the time the default will work fine. And then you're going to scroll to the bottom and make sure and click on Save Changes so that these changes take effect. And the next thing I want you to do is click on the Checkout tab and just make sure that the default setting is checked. It should be. You definitely want to enable the use of coupons. At least in my case, I want to demonstrate how to use coupons. So enable that and then enable guest checkout. And you can see there it just allows customers to check out without creating an account. And then of course if you did have to change anything, you would scroll to the bottom and click on Save Changes there, but we do not have to change anything. Alright, and let's go over here to the Accounts tab. Click on that and scroll down, and you want to make sure Enable Registration on the Checkout page is selected, so that gives the customer the option to register. And also let's check Enable Registration on the My Account page, and let's save the change. And what this is going to do when your customers click on the My Account tab that we're going to have on our navigation menu, they'll be able to register for an account. And they'll also need that if you choose to enable comments. For example, if you have a blog post and you choose to enable comments on that blog post and your customer wants to comment, they'll need an account to do that. So that's where they can register for an account on the My Accounts page. And of course we'll go over comment settings later in the video. After that, click on the Products tab, and this is a very, very important step to do. A lot of people have trouble with this step, and that is your images, your thumbnails. So scroll down to the bottom, and what happens for a lot of people, their thumbnails or their images that they use for their products turn out blurry on their website, which is absolutely no good, and you want to do everything you can to prevent that. And so what happens is the default thumbnail settings with the WooCommerce plugin may differ from the settings of the theme that you're using. Now with the My Style theme, and after doing some trial and error, I figured out that the catalog images need to be larger, the thumbnails need to be larger, and the single product images need to be larger. So we're going to go ahead and change those settings. And one thing to know about images before we do this, you can always make images smaller. So if you upload a really large image, WordPress and the WooCommerce plugin can crop that image down to these specified settings. As long as your image is larger than these settings, you won't lose quality. But if you upload an image that's smaller and you try and have WordPress or WooCommerce make your images larger for the thumbnails, you're going to lose quality that way. So general good practice is to use larger images for when you upload your images to WordPress, and then let WordPress crop it down. So for the catalog images, we're going to use dimensions of 220 by 220. And then for the single product images, we're going to change this to 500 by 500 pixels wide and tall. So just type those in there. And another thing you do need to be aware of is these are square dimensions. So if your images are not square or very close to square, you may need to play around with different proportions here. And you know, sometimes you might have images that are rectangular, and it might get cropped and not show the whole product. So you definitely want to be aware of that. So after you make these changes, click on Save Changes to apply those. And I'm going to scroll back down while I discuss one more issue. If you do find that your images are turning out blurry and you have to come back to this page, to this setting under the WooCommerce settings, under the Product tab, then you will have to make these changes, but it won't apply to the thumbnails you've already created. It will only apply to the thumbnails to the product images that you add after you make the change. So what you would have to do is, if you read this right here, it's suggesting the use of a plugin called Regenerate Your Thumbnails, and the plugin is actually called Regenerate Thumbnails. So to use that plugin, if you have to make a change there after you've already added products, you would go to Plugins, click on Add New, and you would search for Regenerate Thumbnails, and it should be the first one that pops up. You would just install this and then you would activate it, and after this plugin was activated, if it were activated and installed on your site, you would go to Tools, and there would be a Regenerate Thumbnails option. You would click on that and it would take you to one more page, and then you would just click on a button on that page that says Regenerate Thumbnails, and that should fix the problem. So right there, that's a big issue. It's going to save you a lot of headache. And just to be clear, you would use the Regenerate Thumbnails plugin only after you made changes to your thumbnail image dimensions under the WooCommerce settings. So you would do the WooCommerce setting thumbnails first, and then you would regenerate your thumbnails so that then the old ones take on the new dimensions. Alright, now let's take care of some basic theme settings for the My Style theme, and to access those, hover over My Style and click on Theme Options. And just so you're aware, almost all WordPress themes will have their own set of theme options, and oftentimes you can access that by the title of the theme, just like we did with the My Style theme, or you might have to hover over Appearance, and there might be an option that says Theme Options. It just depends. Different themes do it different ways. But all we're going to do right now with the My Style theme options is scroll down, click on the Layout options, and I'm going to check this box to wrap the site content inside a frame, and I'm going to change the main layout to a right sidebar layout. So I'm just going to click that box, scroll down, and click on Save All Changes. And basically what we're doing by enabling the box layout is that's going to set us up later when we add our background color to our website. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to do that, so you need to have that checked to have a background. And then the main layout, I just changed it from the left sidebar to the right sidebar layout just because that's a personal preference of mine. You can do it either way, and I will discuss that later in the video as well when we get into detail with widgets and widget areas. Alright, now let's view the pages that we have created on our site already by going to Pages and click on All Pages. And you'll see we've got most of these pages were created automatically when we generated our e-commerce pages. And we've got this sample page, and WordPress will come with a sample page and a sample blog post by default. And we'll go ahead and delete the sample page. And to delete a page, just hover over it and click on Trash. And that doesn't permanently delete it. We can always go to our trash folder, hover over it, and click on Restore to restore that page. But that will get it off the list here. Now, to add a page in WordPress, we're going to start out with our About page. To add a page, you're going to go to All Pages, or go to Pages, and click on either Add New there, or since we're already on this screen, we can click on Add New here. This is going to add a new page. And we're going to call this About. This is going to be our About page. And what I want to discuss here, with WordPress, you've got the visual editor, and if you click on this icon that toggles the toolbar, it brings down quite a few more options there. Basically, the visual editor functions much like a word processor would. You can format text, and I'll show you how to do that. You can create bullet lists and all kinds of cool stuff with that. And what's really neat, the visual editor actually writes out the HTML code for you. So you can work with it with the visual editor, and then when you switch over to the text editor, that's where you'll actually see the HTML code. And we're going to use the text editor when we actually use some HTML code when we embed a YouTube video. But we'll get into that here in a moment. Let's start out with the visual editor. And make sure this icon is selected so that you have these other formatting options. And the first thing we're going to do is add an image to our About page. And to get all of my images for this mock website, there's a website that I highly recommend in most of my other videos as well. It's called pixabay.com. So go ahead and open up pixabay.com in a new window. And Pixabay is a wonderful resource for free stock photos, free high quality stock photos, and what's really awesome is you don't even have to leave any attribution to the original photographer. You can just use these images completely for free. And what I like to do is just search for the images I'm looking for. So in this case, I'm going to search for Vegetables Farmers Market and click on the search icon. Now I do want to point out these top row images are sponsored images from Shutterstock, so you would have to pay for these top row images, and there may be some other places throughout the site that have these sponsored images, but the bulk of the images that you'll see are available. The one I want to use is right here, so I'm going to click on that image, and then to download this image, all I have to do is click on the image, and then I have all these different size options, and like I discussed earlier in the video when we went over the thumbnail settings for our product photos, it's always best to start out with a large original image file, because you can always scale it down without losing quality. So I generally almost always get the 1280 by whatever the other whatever the height is. Sometimes the height varies, but usually you'll have a 1280 pixel wide option. So I usually download that one, so I'm going to click on download. And if you have an account, you don't have to do this step, but otherwise you would just have to type in the CAPTCHA. So I would just type in 900 and then I would click on download, and I would save this file somewhere on my hard drive where I knew where I could find it, but I've actually already got all of my images downloaded, so I'm not going to worry about that. Now, once you have your image downloaded, go back to your back end, and to add an image to your page, click on Add Media, and click on Select Files, and I'm going to find this on my hard drive. And this is going to be that image right there, and you can see it's the 1280 pixel wide image. So click on Open. Alright, and now I'm going to edit this image because I don't want this image showing up full size. Actually, just a fraction of that size. 1280 pixels wide is pretty large image, larger than you would usually want on your site. So I'm going to click on Edit Image, and I'm going to scale this image down by clicking on the 1280, and I'm going to make it 300 pixels wide. That's going to automatically put in the height for me. And then I'm going to click on Scale. WordPress has gotten really good with some recent updates about scaling images and working with media files. Alright, once I've got that taken care of, I am going to click on Back. And you can see now that we've scaled it, we've got the 300 pixel wide image. And then right here, you can fill out these sections, and basically you just want to put in a description of what the image is about. And the reason you would want to do this is because search engines like Google and Bing and Yahoo, they can't, obviously they're not able to see pictures, so you can give images a description, and it helps search engines figure out what the pictures are about. So that's just a good practice, a good search engine optimization practice, but we won't worry about that for the purposes of time. And then right here for the alignment, I want to align this image to the left because I want to have text to the right of this image, and by doing this, that enables me to do that. And for the link, this is where you decide whether or not you want people to be able to click on your image and be taken somewhere else. By default, it's left on the media file. That would just open the picture up in a different tab. We don't want to do that. We're actually going to set this to none. We're not going to make it a link to anywhere, so it's not even going to be clickable. But if you did want to link it to another web page or another URL, you could click on Custom URL, and you could go to the web page that you want it to link to, and you could copy and paste the URL. For example, if we wanted it to be google.com, we could go to Google and just grab this URL right here, copy that, and come back in and paste it in there. Just make sure you don't have HTTPS in there twice, and we could just leave that, but we're not going to worry about having a URL for this image, so we're going to set that to none. And for the size, we're going to use the full size, which is now the 300 pixel wide image because we've scaled it down. And then we're going to click on Insert into Page. Alright, and that's going to put it there. And because we aligned this image to the left, we are able to put text to the right of the image, so it wraps around the image. If I start typing here, you'll see that the text appears at the top right there. Now, one thing I do want to point out, and something that quite a few of you might run into, is with the visual editor, sometimes it can be a little fickle, especially when you're working with images and text and trying to align them a certain way. So if you run into a situation where you don't have the cursor showing up where you want it to, in other words, if the cursor was over here on this side of the image or down here, and you did want it to be on this side, simply click on the text editor and just go to the very end of the HTML code, which is going to be right here. Just click there and go back to the visual editor, and that will reset it for you right there. And while we were at the text editor, I just want to point out this is actually HTML code that the visual editor wrote for you. And this HTML code, all it does is refer to that image. So that's pretty cool. And we'll come back to that when we embed a YouTube video. But let's go back to the visual editor. Just click there to make sure my cursor's aligned next to the image. Good. All right, the first thing we're going to do is add a heading. And for that, we're just going to call this heading Welcome to this e-commerce website. I'm just going to paste that in there. And to make this a heading, right now by default it's set to a paragraph text. I'm just going to highlight it, and I'm going to click on where it says paragraph, and that's going to drop down these options, and I'm going to change it to a heading 2, and this is going to make it much larger and bolder. Alright, I'm going to click there and push enter, and now I'm going to add some paragraph text. I've already got that typed out here. I'm just going to copy and paste this in. Alright, and then I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to add another heading, but this time I'm just going to make it bold, and this is going to be the heading for my bullet list that I'm going to show you how to do. So I'm going to copy that, paste that in, and then highlight it, and just click on the bold icon. Alright, come click there, push enter again, and then I'm going to copy and paste my list items in, and just click enter and do these one at a time. One more there. Alright, to make these bullet list items, I'm going to highlight them. And then I have a bullet list or a numbered list. And a bullet list would just be the bullets, and you can't really see, it might be difficult to see anyway. There's actually bullets that are showing up on the image, and this is just one of the quirky things with the visual editor. On the website, it won't be that way at all. In fact, this text, the bullet list, is actually going to fall below the picture, just because the paragraph text is going to be so long. But we could also make this, if I highlighted it again, we could make it a numbered list instead by selecting that, and these bullet list items would be numbered, but we'll stick to a bullet list. And now I'm just going to publish this page. Alright, now to view a page once you've created it in WordPress, after you've published it, you can click View Page here, or View Page here, or you could just go to the front end of your site and find it. Now, we're in a situation where our pages are automatically being added to our navigation menu, so I can just click on this icon here, and you can see that all the pages that we have are automatically being added to our main navigation menu. And this is a thing with a lot of WordPress themes. A lot of themes do this, and eventually we'll set up our custom navigation menus. We actually have a spot for a menu here as well, and we want to have complete control over what pages are showing up in those menus and what order they're in, and we might want to drop down. So we're going to create all that later, but for now, just know that the pages are automatically added to the menu. So I can click on About, and that's going to take me to my About page. And you can see here we've got the cropped image, the title of the page, we've got my heading, and then I've got the paragraph, and then we've got the bold text that goes above the bullet list. And I'm going to go back and add a space to drop this down so it looks a little more flush with the bullet list. So to do that, I can go back to my back end by clicking, and I can actually go back to the page editor for this page by clicking on this little box right there, Edit Page. And I'm just going to go down and click next to my paragraph and just press Enter. And then I'm going to update the page. And I'm going to click on View Page to make sure that change took effect. And there you go. You can see that it's now below the picture. Another thing you need to be aware of, this Edit option, if you clicked on that, it would be the same button, the same link as this right here. So it would take you back to the page editor. And that's only going to show up just like this admin bar, only if you're logged in. So that's not going to show up for your users. Now let's go back and let's click on that button, and let's go back and add a YouTube video below our bullet list. So I'm going to click on that to be taken back to the page editor for the About page. Alright, now I'm just going to click at the bottom here and press Enter twice so that it's not going to be a bullet list. And then I'm going to switch over to my text editor. And actually we could have just gone to the text editor anyway and just clicked Enter to get to the bottom of this text. And this is where we're going to copy and paste in the HTML code that YouTube is going to get us. To embed a video on your website from YouTube, open up YouTube in a different tab, and you just find the video that you're looking for. I'm going to search for Farmers Market. And this is the video I'm going to embed just for demo purposes. So I'm going to click on that video to open it up. I'm just going to click to pause it there. And to embed this, to get the code, click on the share tab, scroll down a little bit, and click on Embed. And then you have several different size options if you click on the box next to video size. And I'm going to go with the 640 by 360 option. You can experiment with different options, and that'll change this code up slightly if you choose a different option. And then you can choose to select these. That will give you some more customization if you want to do that, and that will change the code for you, but we'll just stick to the default. I'm going to copy this, and be sure and get all of the code. You have to have every character that it gives you, and then go back to your page editor, and making sure you are in the text editor. That's very important. You have to be in the text editor for this to work, and make sure you're at the bottom of all the other HTML code. I'm just going to paste that in, and then I'm going to click on Update to update the page. And now when I view the page on my front end and scroll down, you can see that we have embedded a YouTube video, and you can click and play that on your site. And I do want to point out, if you do click on the edit button to be taken back to the page editor, if you needed to edit this image, you can click on it and you could remove it, or you could click on this icon here and be taken to some additional image editing options. Alright, now let's create our contact form page. And first we need to set up our contact form, and what's really neat with the My Style theme, it comes with a built-in contact form. So go to My Style and click on Theme Options. And scroll down and click on Contact Page. And that's going to take you to the contact information. The first thing you want to do is put in your email address. And this is the email address that when people fill out the contact form on your website and submit it, a copy of that form will be sent to the email address you provide. And then another option you have, if you check this box to enable the informal panel, that's going to drop down all these options. If you fill these options out, your location name, your address, your telephone number, fax, whatever you fill out, that's going to show up on your contact page as well, only if you have it enabled. If you don't want to enable it, we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to uncheck that and make sure you scroll down and save the change once you've added your email. And then if you had the subscribe and connect, if you had that set up, you could enable that here. And of course you would need to go in and set that up in this section here. We're not going to worry about that either. We're going to keep it pretty simple. But the next thing we need to do is create our contact page, and that way we'll actually be able to add this form to that page. So go to Pages and click on Add New. And we're going to call this Contact Us actually. And all you have to do to make this contact form page is go down under Page Attributes, and if for whatever reason, if you're not seeing page attributes, go to Screen Options and make sure Page Attributes is checked there. And then you can minimize that, and that should pull that up. And for under Template, click on where it says Default Template and change that to Contact Form. And then publish this page. And if we view this page by clicking here, it takes us to the front end. And you can see we now have a nice contact form where people can input their name, email, and their message, and they can submit that. And if for whatever reason you were using a different WordPress theme that did not come with the contact form, I highly recommend a plugin called Contact Form 7. So just search for that in the plugin directory. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is create our first product, and to do that, let's go back to the back end. And you're going to click on Products, click on Add Product, and you want to give your product a name, and for this one we'll create the Fuji apples. And then right here, this is where your long description is going to go. So I'm just going to copy and paste in the long description that I have. Just paste that in there, and then scroll down, and you'll see a place for your short description. So you want to paste in the short description, or write in a short description. And by the way, if you're not seeing that option for the short description or any of these other options, make sure that under your Screen Options tab that those options are checked. You definitely want all of these checked, the same ones that I have. Alright, and then we're going to scroll down, and this is where we input our product data. The first thing we're going to do is leave the product type at simple product. We're going to create a variable product later on, so we'll go over that, but for now let's just leave that at simple product. And inventory, in this tab, this is where you would decide if you wanted to use inventory management, so you could keep up with your inventory and be alerted if certain things were about to run out of stock, but we're not going to worry about that. And actually go back to the general tab, and to add the price of the product, you would just put that in the regular price box, and we're going to give this one, the Fuji apples, a price of 15. And then for the shipping options, we're going to leave that at the default options, and we're going to set up our shipping later on in the video. And we'll go over linked products later in the video. For attributes, we'll do that when we get into a variable product. And for advanced, this is where you can decide if you want to enable reviews or not, and we'll just check that so you can see what reviews look like on the front end of your site. And then we need to come up here and under the product categories section, click on add new product category. And categories are a great way to keep your store very organized, and it's great for your usability of your online store. You want your customers to be able to easily find the products that you have, and you want it to be very organized for them. So we're going to give this 2 categories actually. The first one will be produce, so that's going to encompass all of our fruits and vegetables. So type that in there and click on add new product category. That's going to add it to our list, and it's going to be checked. And then the other product, of course, will be fruit. So type that in and click on add new product category again. And now next time we create another product, we'll have these options to choose from automatically. So we'll be able to check or uncheck if we want them in those products. And let's scroll down, and you want to add a featured image for every product that you create. This is going to be the main image associated with that product. So click on set product image. And I've got all of my images, all of my product images on my hard drive right now, so I'm going to upload the file. Click on select files, and they're all in my product images folder. And I'm going to grab this Fuji apples image right there, and you can see it's the 1280 pixel image there, one of the larger image choices from Pixabay. Click on open. I'm not going to worry about this search engine optimization. I'm just going to click on set product image. And then another really great feature with the My Style theme and the WooCommerce plugin, you can have a product image gallery. And to add images to your product gallery, this is completely optional, and we're only going to add images to the gallery for the Fuji apples page just to demonstrate how that's done. Click on add product gallery images, and click on upload files, and click on select files. Again, these are on my hard drive, and I'm just going to click on the Fuji apples 2 JPG file, and then I'm going to click shift and click on Fuji apple 3, and that's going to select both of them. And then click on open, and again that was just holding shift down on my keyboard when I selected the other one. And then I'm going to click on add to gallery, because both of those are going to be automatically checked once you upload them. Click on add to gallery, and we're going to scroll up to the top and click on publish. Alright, and one more thing I do want to point out before we view our product page for the Fuji apples product. The long description section, it is obviously done within the visual editor, and so you can use this just like you would when we created our about page. You can add images, you can format your text, you can do all of that same type of stuff, and the same thing applies to the short description. You also have the visual editor to work with, and of course if you needed the text editor for either one of these to add HTML code, you can do that as well. Alright, let's scroll up and click on View Product. This is going to take us to the front end of our site, and you can see here we've got our featured image here, the main product image, and then if we scroll down we've got our image gallery, and when you click on the image gallery you can flip through all of the images including the featured image. And another reason that I really recommend using larger, higher quality photos to begin with when you upload your images is because you have the option within your gallery to click on this button, and that's going to open it up to the full-size version, so you can see a much larger version of each of the images if you uploaded a larger version to begin with. And then we can click there to exit out of that. And then another thing, you have the product title, you have the price, and then you see this is the short description, so it's actually going to show up at the top here. And you have the categories that we added, the fruit and the produce category, and I could actually click on these and be taken to a list of all the products within those categories. But since these are the only products, or this is the only product within those categories, we're not going to worry about that right now. This is where the long description would go. And then if you enabled reviews, then this is where your reviews would be. And another thing I want to point out, I'm going to right click on this image and I'm going to view the image, and I want to point out that this is a 500 by 500 pixel image, and that's because we changed our product thumbnail settings to display the 500 by 500 rather than the default 300 by 300. Now if we go back, I'm going to grab a tool that I have downloaded on my Firefox browser called Measure It, and if I click and measure the length of this image, you can see it's right about 500 pixels wide, and if I do the same for the height, it's about 500 pixels tall, a little bit shorter, but just about that. If we would have left the default, it would have taken a 300 by 300 pixel image and stretched it to fit these dimensions, so it would have actually been blurry, and that's exactly why we made that change in the beginning of the video. And if we come over here and click on the link to the shop page, go ahead and do that. I want you to see that that product is automatically added to our shop page, and every other product that we create will also be automatically added to this page. And this image right here, if we grab our Measure It tool, you can see that it's about 215 by 220, and we specified that we wanted the thumbnail for this to be 220 by 220 instead of the default 150 by 150. So again, this is another example of where we would have lost quality had we not made that adjustment in the thumbnail settings. Alright, before we create the navigation menus the way we want them to be and set those up properly, let's add the rest of our products. And to do that, we're going to go back to the back end and follow the same steps that we did for the first product. Go to Products, click on Add Product, and the next one we'll do is the apples product. So put in the product title. I'm going to copy and paste the description, the long description, scroll down and do the same for the short description. And I'm going to come up, and this will be a simple product. I'm going to give this one a price of $12, and all of those other options, we're not going to worry about reviews for this product, so we won't check that box there. And then let's make sure and check that we do want this product to be in the fruit category and the produce category, just like our Fuji apples. And for the product image, I'm going to click on Set Product Image, click on Upload Files, select Files, and I'm going to grab my apples.jpg image, click on Open again. Of course, this is a larger image. And then I'm going to click on Set Product Image. Alright, and click on Publish. Then we can add a new product by clicking on Add Product, the top there. And this one will be oranges. Grab the long description, paste it in, grab the short description. For my oranges, I'm going to give those a price of $12. Actually, the regular price is going to be $13, and to make a product on sale, all you would have to do is put in a regular price and then put in a sale price. So we'll put in 12 there. And then we'll set the product image here, upload the file. This will be our oranges image. Click on Set Product Image, and for this one we'll check the same categories, fruit and produce, and we'll click on Publish. and I'll show you what all these products look like on the front end of our site here in a moment, and I'll show you what happens when you make a product on sale, what that looks like. All right, let's add a new product. This one will be our green peppers. Grab the short description, paste that in. All right, for the price, we'll give this one a price of $10. And we want this to be in a produce category, and we're going to add a new category by clicking on Add New Product Category, and we're going to call this Vegetables. I can spell that. Click on Add New Product Category. All right, and then we're going to add the product image. Click on Upload Files, select Files, and set that product image. Then we're going to publish the product. All right, add a new product. Just 2 more to go. This one will be red peppers. The reason I'm doing all these products, of course, there is a reason for that. I want to show you how to do some upselling and cross-selling later in the video with these different products. So there is a purpose behind all this. I realize it is redundant. Grab my short description, paste that in, and I'm going to give these also a price of $10. All these other options will be fine the way they are, and we're going to check the produce and vegetables categories and set our product image for the red peppers. On open and set product image, and then publish the product. Don't forget to publish these. Of course, they won't show up if you don't publish them. All right, and then the last product we do, and this is important to pay attention to because this is going to be a variable product, so we're going to click on Add Product. Basically what a variable product allows us to do is to have one product with several different options. A common example of a variable product might be a t-shirt. For a t-shirt you might have different sizes, and you also might even have different colors to choose from. So you want to be able to have one product that encompasses all those options, and you want to be able to have different images and different prices for the different options if necessary. So for our example, we're going to use a coffee grinder. So I'm just going to type that in there as the product title. And I'm going to do the usual short and long description here. Scroll down and put in my short description. Okay, and then I'm going to come back up here to the product data section, and we're going to change this from simple product, and we want this to be variable product. And notice that the price option goes away, and this is because we have to input a price for each of the variations, so we don't have that option anymore. All right, we're not going to worry about any of these other options for now. We're going to go to the attributes section, and this is where we create our product attributes since there are so many different variations. So click on Add, and you want to give our first attribute a name, and our first attribute is going to be the model. And for the model, I'm going to have a premium model and a standard model. So give your attribute a name, and then for the value, come over in this box and click there to type text in, and we're going to give the first one, we're going to call it standard, and then you're going to do a space and then hold shift on your keyboard and hit the pipe symbol, which is going to be under the delete key. That's going to give you the pipe symbol, and then hit another space, and this is what you do to separate your values. So we're going to have a standard, and then we're going to have a premium. So type in that, and you want to make this visible on the product page, and you want to use this for the variations. That's very important to make this work properly. You have to check that. And to add another one, click on Add, or actually first we need to save that. Click on Save Attributes. Okay, and then we can click this box to toggle, or click this arrow rather, to toggle that. well, maybe it'll let us do that when we add another one. Click on Add, scroll down, and now let's see. Well, we won't worry about that. Let's click on the box under Name, and for this one, we're going to give it a name of Size, and then click on the Value section, and we're going to do a medium, and then hit space, hold shift down and hit the pipe key under the delete key on your keyboard, and then space, and we'll do a large, and check both of these. We do want it visible on the product page, and we definitely want to use it for variations. Click on Save Attributes. Alright, and then you're going to scroll down and click on Variations, and now we want to hit Link All Variations, and this will automatically generate our variations for us. So click on that, Link All Variations, and click on OK. And you can see we have 4 variations added. Click on OK. That's exactly what we wanted, because now we have a standard medium, we have a premium medium, and then we have a standard large, and we have a premium large. So that's perfect. It worked all of our variations out for us. So scroll up, and for each one of these, for the standard medium, we want to give that one a price, and the price is going to go right in here. And you do have to input a price for each of these, even if they are the same. In our case, they're all going to be different prices. So for the standard medium, we're going to give that one a price of 15. And then to add an image for the standard medium variation, click on this box, making sure that this is enabled, this box is checked. Click here, and we're going to upload the file. And I'm going to grab the standard coffee grinder picture. Click on Open, and I'm going to use the same image for both of the standard models and a different image for both of the premium models. Go ahead and click on Set Variation, and then we're going to scroll down. For the premium medium, I'm going to give that one a price of $25, and I'm going to click here to add an image. I'm going to upload a file. Click on Select Files, and I'm going to grab the premium coffee grinder image, click on Open, and as soon as that loads, we'll click on Set Variation Image. And then for the standard large, I'm going to give that one a price of $20. So it'll be a little bit more than the standard medium. So scroll down and click on the icon, or that space, to add an image. And since we already have it uploaded, we can just click on that. It'll put a check next to that image, and click on Set Variation. Then scroll down, and for the premium large, we're going to do 30 for the price. Type that in there, and click to add an image, and we'll select our premium image that's already added to our media library. Click on Set Variation Image. And for the default selection, this is the one that's going to show up when someone views the product for the first time. Of course, they'll be able to look through these different options, but you want them to be able to see a product right away. So we're going to choose to just show the highest level. We're going to show the premium large version by default. And then we're going to come up and we're going to add a new product category. This one will be kitchen tools. Let's click on Add New Product Category. And even though we added variation images, you still need to select a main product image. Click on Set Product Image. And since my default selection is the premium coffee grinder, I'll select that image as our main product image. Click on Set Product Image. And scroll down here, and let's just click on Add. Actually, we don't even have to worry about that. It already added all our variations for us. So come up here and click on Publish. And now if we view this product, assuming we did everything correctly, you should have the main product image that you selected. The premium and the large is the main product image, the default, so that's good. Now when we change this, let's say we change the model, let's change it to the standard. And let's pick the medium. You can see that it changes that image for us. So the standard medium and the standard large are going to have that image, and you notice the price changed when we selected large. And then if we choose to have the premium, we've got the premium large with the premium image, and the price has changed. And if we change the large to the medium, the price will drop to the price for the premium medium model. So that's a great feature that the WooCommerce plugin allows you to incorporate into your e-commerce functionality. Alright, the next thing we'll do is set up our navigation menus, and I mentioned earlier in the video that by default a lot of WordPress themes automatically display all your pages in the main navigation menu for that theme, and that is the case with the My Style theme. However, you do want complete control over what's showing up and what order things are showing up in. So to set up your menus, go back to your backend, and you're going to go to Appearance and click on Menus, and we're going to create a new menu. So click on Create a New Menu, and we're going to give this a name, and we're going to call this Top Navigation Menu. You can call it whatever you like, just make sure you keep up with the title of it, and then click on Create Menu. And as you can see here, next to theme locations, we have a primary menu and a top menu, and different themes will have different menu options. Some themes might only have one navigation menu, some might have 3 different menus throughout the site. So we're going to start out with our top navigation menu, and we're going to go ahead and check that we do want this menu that we've given a name, top navigation menu, to be assigned to the top menu on our theme. And then we're going to add pages to our menu. So we're going to choose, you can view the most recent pages that you've created. You can click here to view all your pages. We're going to choose the About page and the Contact Us page. We want those 2 pages to be on our top menu. So click on Add to Menu after you've selected those. Alright, and then make sure that you've selected that you do want to assign these to the top menu location, and click on Save Menu. Alright, now if we go to the front end of our site, you'll see that we now have those pages added to our top menu, and we can click on those to be taken to the actual pages, just like that. Now if we want to go back to the back end and edit our main navigation menu, go back to Appearance and click on Menus, and we're going to create a new menu here at the top, and this is going to be Main Navigation Menu is the title I'm going to give it, and then click on Create Menu. And we're going to assign this to the primary location, and that's going to override the default setting that adds every page to the primary menu and just put the menu or the pages that we select on that. So we're going to select, let's put our shop page on the menu, let's put our checkout page, let's put our cart page, and let's put our My Account page for now. So with those selected, I'm going to click on Add to Menu. Alright, and to change the order of the different menu items, all you have to do is you can drag and drop. So if I want my shop to show up first, I'm going to click and hold and drag that up to the top and release. And another trick is, let's say shop was down at the bottom. If you're having trouble with the drag and drop interface, you can click on this arrow to drop down the options, and you can click on these different options to move the menu that way. So we can click on up one, we can put it underneath the cart, which would actually make it a drop down underneath the cart, and we'll go over drop downs in just a moment. But we can also click on to the top, and that will put it to the top as well, and then click the arrow to minimize those options. You can also change the title. By default, the title of the menu item will take on the title of the page, and if we wanted the shop page to say something different in the navigation menu, we could change that here, and we would of course want to save those changes. But I'm just going to keep it to shop, and I want that to be at the top, and after my shop I want to have my checkout page, and then after my checkout page I'm going to do my cart page, and then my account page is going to be last. Okay, now if you did this as I mentioned earlier, and let's just save that and I'll show you what this does. Cart is going to be a drop down menu item. When you hover over checkout, it's going to display cart. So click on Save Menu, and then we are going to view the front end of our site, and when you hover over checkout, cart displays as a child menu item underneath checkout. So let's go back, and I'm just going to use the back button on my browser to get back to this menu editing screen, and we want that to not be a drop down item. We just want it to be its own menu item. And another way to add that as a drop down underneath checkout would be to click on the arrow, and you could move it under checkout just like that. But we're just going to do it the normal way. And then the next thing I want to do is add a product categories menu item, and I want this to actually be a drop-down menu, and I want it to display all the different product categories when you hover over the product categories menu item. So since we don't have a page called product categories, what you can do is create what's called a link menu item, and if you're not seeing the link menu item available, come up here to screen options and make sure that is checked, and make sure all your other options are checked that I have checked. And we're just going to click the arrow next to links, and we're going to call this product categories. And for the URL, since we don't have any page created for the product categories, but we still want to have a menu item, we're going to just make this blank. And the way you do that is a little HTML code, and just delete what's there and put in the pound symbol. And that's going to allow us to have the menu item even though it doesn't go anywhere. So if you clicked on it, it wouldn't take you anywhere. It would drop down the